The Prime Minister has stopped short of publicly rebuking Foreign Minister Winston Peters for comparing race relations in New Zealand to Nazi Germany. But he does plan to give Peters a talking to.
The Deputy Prime Minister wouldn't back down from his comments today, and now Christopher Luxon is calling on all political parties to dial down the rhetoric. Here's our political editor, Jenna Lynch.
The trademark grin getting a diplomatic spin.
Nice place. It is.
Foreign Minister Winston Peters welcoming his Chinese counterpart to the Parliament and the country. The same and yet a totally different man from the Winston Peters who yesterday likened race relations in New Zealand to one of the worst atrocities in modern humanity.
I've seen that sort of philosophy before. I saw it in Nazi Germany. We all did. We've seen it elsewhere around the world in the horrors of history. But here, right in our country, and tolerated by people whose job was to keep the system honest.
Peters did not even ponder a backpedal today.
Why did you have to bring the Holocaust into this?
Well, because last year, Waititi from the Maori Party said that Maori had superior DNA. Remember, you say that, you're heading down the pathway of separatism, apartheid, and all the ugly business of racism and exclusivity.
You know, Winston Peters' comments are totally unacceptable. They actually reflect not only poorly on the New Zealand government, but poorly on New Zealand. This is our Deputy Prime Minister and our Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Hipkins likened him to a drunk uncle at a wedding. Peters hit back, saying Hipkins couldn't even handle a wine biscuit.
I will concede right now that Winston Peters' tolerance for alcohol will be a lot higher than mine. He's had a lot more practice.
Yes, these are the men leading the country.
Have you spoken to Winston Peters about the comments he made yesterday about Nazi Germany?
No, I haven't had a chance to do so, but I do. We talk regularly, and I plan to talk to him about it.
The Prime Minister wants some decorum back.
Calling on people from all political parties to maintain the civility in our politics, and I don't think extreme language on either side from any particular party is actually helpful or necessary.
He employed some diplomatic language on Peters.
That's not what I would say. I don't think that is, those aren't the way that I would phrase it at all.
I think Christopher Luxon, at the very least, needs to haul him in and say, stop this, this isn't acceptable, this isn't conduct that's acceptable from someone holding the office that you hold.
I've seen Chris Hipkins refer to our government as a dictatorship. I've seen, the Māori Party refer to us as white supremacists who have got some sort of genocide agenda. I don't think any of that inflammatory language is very helpful at all.
Not specifically rebuking his foreign minister, but calling for cooler heads across the spectrum.
Well, Jenna joins us now. Kia ora, Jenna. Did Winston Peters go too far for the Prime Minister this time?
Winston Peters was given the longest leash in the world. He's constantly off script, saying any number of outrageous things, and the response from the Nats thus far has kind of just been to shrug and say Winston will be Winston. Who knew we would get all the way to comparisons to Nazi Germany before the bar of too far was reached? Now, it is notoriously difficult for Prime Ministers of coalition governments to reprimand ministers that aren't part of their own political party, but it was not credible for Christopher Luxon to come down here today and not call Winston Peters out. So instead he's found this clever solution of rightly identifying that language across the political spectrum has been progressively getting more extreme, handing him a tidy solution of asking for everyone to cool their heads rather than directing that straight at his deputy.
Political editor Jenna Lynch, tēnā koe.